Size is not all that matters. Sometimes even the tiniest creature can bring revolutions or destruction. Just like a little rat. And remember not to call it a mouse. What's the difference? This story will clear that to you. Roscuro the rat has broken the rat's rule and befriended a human. His companion is a sailor named Pietro. Together they travel around the different parts of the world and experience their legacies. This time they are going to visit a place in the French kingdom called Dor. It's famous all over the world for its delicious soups, and their soups are so special that they have an annual celebration for them. They call it Soup Day. For the people of Dor, Soup Day is way more important than any other festival. The best ingredients are collected from all over the world to make the biggest pot of soup on this occasion. The recipe keeps changing too. The whole cooking process is monitored by the genius royal chef Andre. He develops a new soup recipe on every soup day, and it's always better than the previous one. Even the most genius needs a little assistance. Andre gets it from a food genie. He locks himself inside his kitchen and summons the genie. Andre can't figure out what's missing in the soup he's cooking right now. He blames the genie for adding too much garlic, and they start quarreling. In this mess, they accidentally drop a bottle of wine in the soup. Andre panics at first, but then he realizes the wine has improved the taste. Everyone is gathered outside the palace as the royals are going to taste the soup. The irresistible aroma is spreading everywhere. Roscuro can't hold back himself either and sneaks into the royal banquet. He hangs on the chandelier to have a closer look at the soup. Right below him, the queen is sitting down to taste the soup. Before she could give her opinion, Roscuro slips and falls inside the soup bowl. The queen gets extremely disgusted and gets a heart attack right on the spot. All the guards run to catch Roscuro to kill him. The little rat has ruined the whole festival. Roscuro rushes to save his life, but the guards mercilessly follow him everywhere. Roscuro reaches the window, but it's covered with glass. While trying to find another exit, Roscuro accidentally falls into a drain that leads to the dungeon. He's alive, but regrets his decision of coming to Dor. Luckily, he's not alone. Many other rats live in this dungeon too, and they take in Roscuro. Meanwhile, the king is deeply grieved by the death of his beloved wife. He orders a ban on the cooking and eating of soup. Moreover, there should be no rats seen in the kingdom. Every one of them should be killed at first sight. Dor has lost his identity. Dark clouds cover up the sky, but there's no rain. The sun doesn't shine either. The crops have been destroyed and Dor is buried in sorrow. In this hard time, the king's only daughter, Princess P, wishes for a hero to appear and bring back Dor's happiness. Her prayers are heard, and a hero is born, but not in the human world. Away from everyone's sight, an abandoned palace room is inhabited by a colony of mice. They have families, jobs, and a mayor to look after everything. Mice multiply quite fast, but today is special. A special mouse is born in the Tilling family. Despero is different with his big open eyes and huge ears, though he grows up to a small height. But his determination is quite big. Despero's parents are always worried for him as he's too brave as a mouse. While other mice get scared easily, Despero is not afraid of anything. He keeps doing challenging tasks and visits risky places. One day, while roaming around with his friends, Despero reaches the forbidden hole that leads to the dungeon. His curiosity keeps building and he wonders what's inside. However, no mouse is allowed to visit there. It's the place for the one who broke the rules. They are called rats and live in the rat world inside the dungeon. Their lives aren't as bright as the mouse world. They don't have laws and eat from the garbage. As their city lies in the dungeon, it's surrounded by dead bodies of previously executed criminals. Roscuro is finding it hard to fit in this creepy place. He spends most of his time in his room looking at the light coming from a small hole. Roscuro wants to get back to the outside world. He's not the only one with this desire. Despero is also curious about the outside world. But first, he has to learn to live in the mouse world. His school principal calls his parents to share his report. Unlike other students, Despero still hasn't learned to be afraid. He can't be a mouse if he isn't a coward. Despero's bravery is considered taboo in this world, and his parents are given the last chance to cure him. They believed sending him to a dangerous situation might scare him. So they sent Despero to the palace along with his brother Furlough. They advised Despero to follow in his brother's footsteps, but nothing can scare off this little mouse. They go to the library and Furlough starts nibbing one of the books. However, Despero is more interested in reading one. It's a story about a locked-up princess who awaits a brave prince who will come to her rescue. But such heroes are rare and born once in 1,000 years. The book teaches Despero the lesson of truth, chivalry, and honor. He keeps visiting the library to read the story. Despero wonders how the princess knew a hero would appear. He wishes to meet a princess to ask her personally, and his wish gets granted immediately. One day, he follows the music the king plays every day in memory of his late wife. Despero also sees the princess and follows her to the room. Princess P asks if he's a mouse or a rat, but Despero introduces himself as a gentleman and notices the longing in Princess's eyes. He asks why she's so sad. P misses the rain, the sunshine, the soup, and even the rats. She wishes everything to be normal again. Despero assures her of the appearance of a hero soon and makes P wonder from where this cute mouse has learned this all. Despero tells her about the story he's reading and promises to inform her about the ending. It's definitely fortunate to be a princess, and not everyone's that lucky. But every girl wishes to be a princess, just like Miguri Sao. She used to work on a farm and looked at the palace from afar. His cruel uncle sold her as a servant, and she ended up at the palace but never gave up her wish to be a princess. Meanwhile, Despero keeps visiting the library to finish the story. The Mouse Council notices his suspicious behavior and presents him in front of the court. Despero failed to become a coward like a normal mouse. He kept playing with the mouse traps and even talked to a human. All this is considered a huge crime in the mouse world, and Despero's behavior is a threat to the community. The judge is afraid that Despero's influence may cause the other mice to rebel, so he orders to banish Despero to the rat world. He's taken to the blind threadmaster, who ties him with a red thread and sends him down the dungeon. There's no returning back, as the wild rats often eat away the innocent mice. After reaching the dungeon, Despero tells the princess's story to the jailer, but he isn't interested and throws him down. The rats pick up Despero and take him to the arena. The poor mouse is tortured by the hungry cat while the ruthless rats are enjoying the show. Roscuro can't stand this cruelty and takes a clever step. He requests their leader to give Despero to him for dinner. The leader gets really happy to see Roscuro getting wild like the other rats and happily gives Despero to him. Roscuro doesn't have any intention of eating Despero and takes him to his room. He hears the princess's story and wishes to be brave like the prince, brave enough to face the royals and apologize for his mistake. Roscuro tells his story to Despero and asks for his opinion. Despero assures him of the kindness of the princess and encourages Roscuro to visit her. Meanwhile, in the palace, Miguri secretly borrows the princess's crown to try it on, but the head servant catches her. She punishes Miguri and sends her to deliver food to the dungeon. There she meets the jailer, who also had a princess. He's talking about her daughter. For every dad, her daughter is like a princess, but the jailer didn't have enough money to bring up his daughter, so he gave it away to another family. Roscuro is also listening to them and uses Miguri to sneak into the palace. He tries to apologize to Princess P by showing how ashamed he is. Unfortunately, she recognizes him as the filthy rat who caused her mother's death. Roscuro tries to explain himself, but she doesn't listen and calls the guards. The poor rat hardly saves his life and escapes the ruthless guards. But now his regrets have turned into anger. He wants to punish the princess for her insensitive behavior. He can't do it alone and needs someone who hates the princess as much as him. It's Miguri. Roscuro brainwashes her to replace the princess. Miguri steals a knife and a rope and visits the princess, but she is afraid to use violence. Pia is really angry after meeting Roscuro and takes out all her frustration on the innocent servant. Miguri gets really hurt and ties up P. She takes the princess to the dungeon and locks her up. However, Roscuro was just using Miguri and locked up her as well. Then he announces to the rats their next meal. They are going to eat the princess. Luckily, Despero finds the princess and promises to help her. P gives her necklace so Despero can take it to the king and bring him to the dungeon. Despero climbs out of the dungeon and passes several mousetraps to reach the top, but loses the necklace on the way. Despero rushes to the king but fails to grab his attention, so he decides to ask someone else for help. He visits the mouse world, but everyone assumes he is a ghost because he's all covered in white dust. Despero rings the central bell to get attention, but all the mice are still afraid like always. Andre can hear the bell in his kitchen and dreams about soup. He wakes up in frustration and decides to cook soup against the law. The delightful aroma spreads around the town and reaches the sky. Suddenly it starts to rain. Everyone comes out to witness the miracle. Despero also follows the aroma and reaches the kitchen. He asks Andre to help him, but he doesn't believe Despero, but the food genie does. He joins Despero and goes to save the princess, but she's already been taken away. Moreover, the rats attack Despero and the genie, and they fall down the stairs. Don't worry, it's just the beginning of something good. The jailer hears the noise and rushes to the dungeon. There he finds Miguri and spots the birthmark on her neck. She's the jailer's little princess. The dark clouds have set away and the sun shines brightly. The king also gets up from his sorrows. However, the princess is still in danger. She's tied up and presented in the arena. The hungry rats are impatiently waiting to eat her. Now everything is in Roscuro's hands. He can either become like the one who didn't forgive him, or he can start the chain of forgiveness. Roscuro chooses the latter. The rats attack the princess anyway. Despero rushes to open the cat's cage. The rats start to run away for their lives. Some of them attack Despero, but the little gentleman fights bravely just like a prince. Unfortunately, the rat's leader captures Despero and threatens to throw him down. Suddenly, the light shines in the dungeon by reflecting off the necklace. Roscuro uses the mirror to shine it at the rat's leader to distract him. Despero is free and rushes to help the princess. Roscuro finally gets the chance to apologize to P. She feels ashamed of her rude behavior and apologizes back. The king also apologizes to his people for neglecting them because of his personal grief. In the end, it was all just a misunderstanding. It was a chain of getting hurt and hurting others. The king was hurt, so he hurt a rat. The rat was hurt, so he hurt a princess, and the princess hurt a servant. But now she shares her luck with Miguri, but Miguri doesn't want it now. She wants to be his dad's little princess and enjoys the rest of her life peacefully at the farm. And Despero? He's known as a hero in the mouse world and teaches other mice the lesson of bravery, chivalry, and honor. When we hurt someone else, it may feel like we're trying to satisfy a need within ourselves. But the truth is that hurting others doesn't actually make us feel any better in the long run. In fact, it can often make us feel worse as we come to realize the pain we've caused and the damage we've done. On the other hand, forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing and can help us to let go of the negative emotions and burdens that we've been carrying around.